થઈ ગયું તું એમાં એડ કરવામાં બી જુઓ કાંસેફ આવી ગયો છે. Good morning, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. Kindly wait for 5 minutes. We will be starting in 5 minutes. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to Technical Session 6F. Myself, Deepika Jain, and this session would be moderated by me. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation and GR Scholastic LLP, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the 9th International Conference on Smart Trends in Computing and Communications, SMARTCOM 2025, Pune, India. The 9th edition of this conference has been organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event was held in Pune and it is also being held through the digital platform that is on 30th and 31st January 2025. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable sessions throughout the day. Um, in this session, we have 10 presentations and each presenter would be getting 10 minutes for their presentation, that is 8 minutes for their presentation and 2 minutes for any question and answers. On 7 minutes, I will be raising a gentle reminder. I also request the participants to be with us till the end of the session, till the closing remarks as well. And if you have any query, you can just update me in the chat box. Also, before we start the session, just a minute. I would like to introduce the session chair, that is Dr. Prabhu. He is currently working as an associate assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science at Christ University, Bangalore, Karnataka, India. He has completed his PhD in computer application in the area of software engineering at Anna University, Chennai. He has more than 10 years of teaching and industrial experience. He has guided a number of research papers. I welcome you, sir. Okay, so we can start our first presentation. Just a minute. We have a first presenter with us, Padma Lakshmi ji. Ma'am, are you able to hear me? Padma Lakshmi ji, are you here? Okay. Okay, do we have a next presenter with us who would be presenting a paper on, just a minute, I'll let you know. A paper on adaptive neural network based error mitigation scheme for free space optical communication in adverse atmospheric conditions. Ma'am, are
I'm ready, ma'am.
you are ready with your presentation? Mangaiya Karski. Participants, please respond.
I'm sure I am ready to present. If no one is ready, I can present. My paper ID is 800.
I'm Magir Karsi, ma'am.
Ma'am, are you ready with your presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm ready, ma'am.
Please share your screen now, please.
Okay, ma'am. Show you, ma'am.
Can you please share your screen and start the presentation?
Shared, ma'am, already. I shared, ma'am. The screen is visible, ma'am. Ma'am, my screen is visible, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. Deepika, ma'am.
No, ma'am, your screen is not visible.
Wait a minute, sir.
Ma'am, please share your screen first.
I'm doing, ma'am.
Faster, please.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Just a minute. Is visible, ma'am?
I can see your screen, but not the yeah. Your screen is visible now. Please start.
Shall I start, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Okay, ma'am. Good afternoon to all. My title is Adaptive Neural Network Based Error Mitigation Scheme for Free Space Optical Communication in Adverse Atmospheric Conditions. My name is N. Mangai Karsi, Research Scholar. I am working in King's College of Engineering, Tanjavur. My co-authors Dr. J. Arpada Vijay Selvi, Professor Principal, King's College of Engineering, and Dr. T. Pasupati, Associate Professor, Shastra University. My objective of this my paper is performance of the FSO communication system is greatly impacted by adverse atmospheric conditions such as heavy turbulence. An adaptive neural network based approach is presented to mitigate the errors under different sessions of atmospheric conditions, and also convolutional neural network based architecture to predict the compensate the atmospheric induced distortions, thereby improving the performance of the FSO communication. It significantly improves the bit error rate and signal to noise ratio. Next, I move on to introduction. In free space optical communication system offers ultra high bandwidth, large data rate, very secure data transmission, making them feasible and solution for next generation communication networks. And using machine learning algorithms is four classifications: supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, and reinforced learning. In supervised learning methods, particularly neural networks like artificial neural networks, convolutional neural networks, and recurrent neural networks, have found widespread applications in optical communication systems and networks. My wireless optical communication system model is shown. In this, we have divided into three parts: transmitter, atmospheric channel, and receiver. In this, the input binary signal is generated from a pseudo-random binary sequence. Generated is represented as the following signal: 110, 1100. This digital information is modulated and fed into a 850 nanometer 50 milliwatt laser source and converts the electrical signal into desired optical signal. The laser source emits the optical pulses corresponding to the PRBS binary data. The emitted optical signal is propagated in the space channel for the operating link distance of 65 meters. In atmospheric conditions, the turbulence influenced by weather, atmospheric turbulence, and physical abstractions. Next, now receiver. The avalanche photodiode is used at receiver N to detect a received signal. The detector converts the received optical signal back into the electrical signal. The electrical signal representing the transmitted binary information is then processed and the original information is recovered. In the atmospheric conditions, gas molecules, water vapor, turbulence, dust, aerosols, and pollutants, which are less in size compared to the wavelength of the optical signal involved for the communication. Atmospheric effects pose challenges for achieving high data rate and reliable performance in wireless free space optical communication systems. Continuation for this, observation and absorption and scattering significantly weaken the optical signal and wavefront distortion and scintillation due to atmospheric conditions leads to intensity fading, which causes higher bit rates and signal losses at the receiver. Weak and strong fluctuation theories with a formula for Rayleigh variations by denoted by sigma r squared equal to 1.23 Cn squared K 7 by 6 L 11 by 6, where the sigma r squared is less than 1, weak turbulence is equal to 1, moderate turbulence, and greater than strong turbulence, and very greater than is saturation density. The proposed system focuses on mitigating errors occurs from adverse environmental conditions in FSO communication network. First one is signal attenuation. Signal attenuation means absorption and propagated optical signal. In this reduces the intensity of the received optical signal. The techniques to use to recover the signal attenuation: neural networks dynamically adjust the parameters of the modulation and coding scheme based on the evaluation of atmospheric attenuation. Comprehensive training on historical weather data by the neural network predicts attenuation, patterns, and compensation. Next is scintillation. It is caused variations of the refractive index, that is occurs due to temperature gradients and air flows. In this, we use the technique to recover the scintillation. Neural network model turbulence effects by learning the properties of scintillation. Next one is beam monitoring. It is random motion of the optical beam path caused by the turbulence in the atmosphere. In this, intermittent loss of signal at the receiver. We recover this using the technique. Neural networks is effectively trained on the received beam profile data sets, which can predict and track the beam trajectory dynamically. Next one is pointing errors. Optical beam misalignment caused by vibrations in the transmitter or receiver hardware. Neural network with image-based feedback loops analyze and mitigate pointing errors. Next one is system model. We can use environmental data collection, data pre-processing, neural network prediction, dynamic compensation, control loop. First one is environmental data collections. Environmental atmospheric conditions is temperature, humidity. That one is use SHG11. This is digital commodity temperature sensor. Next one is atmospheric pressure unit by Pascal, and the device SCP 1000. It is pressure sensor. Next, wind speed measured by heart anemometer. It is used to device and to wind speed. Next one is data pre-processing. The collected atmospheric data is normalized using min-max method and filtered to remove noise. Neural network predictions. The neural network trained on stimulated data accurately predicts the degree of signal degradation due to atmospheric conditions. Dynamic compensation based on the predicted values, the neural network dynamically adjusts the free space optical signal parameters and significantly improves its performance. Dynamic compensation include increase the transmission power, selecting the desired modulation scheme, employing adaptive beam steering to accurate elements, or steering mirror for taking necessary compensation to stabilize the beam. Control loop, it's used a real-time feedback loop guarantees accurate continuous monitoring and adjustment. The neural network consistently updates its predictions and compensations based on the atmospheric data, ensuring optimal performance. The design specifications of the neural network. Neural network parameters are number of network layers, input
Dear
layer.
presenter, you have 2 minutes left.
The resultant discussion, predicted attenuation increases as link range increases higher in monsoon seasons. This is the data sheet for experimental data. We can use different seasons, winter, summer and monsoons, and also a different distances, 50, 75, 100. We measure temperature, relative humidity, pressure and wind speed. Before compensation, these parameters are given like this. After, we can compensate something, that is transmission power, beam assessment and modulation schemes. We get a bit error rate like this. And this is the for the neural network consistently improves SNR ranging from 2 dB in clear weather and 4 dB in adverse condition. BR reduction is proportional to SNR improvement, demonstrating the system robustness. This is the waveform for neural network across the season for different season and then for different parameters like summer, rainy and winter, bitter rate, temperature, relative humidity, pressure and wind speed after compensation. Conclusion. This paper presents an adaptive neural network based approach to mitigate errors in FSO communication systems under varying atmospheric conditions is demonstrated. Neural network optimization proves crucial in enhancing FSO system performance across on seasons. The proposed schemes effectively reduces BER and improve SNR, ensuring reliable communication over extended region. These are the reference papers. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your presentation.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, we can move on to our next presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. We have our next presenter with us, Padma Lakshmi ji, who will be presenting a paper on a comprehensive framework for real-time monitoring of human-wildlife harmony in Madumalai forest of Tamil Nadu. Are you here, ma'am?
Good afternoon, ma'am. So
Good
I'm here.
afternoon. Yes, please. You can.
Shall I share the article?
Yes, please. Yes.
Is it visible, ma'am?
Yeah, the screen is visible.
I
You
think
can just start with the slideshow.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So good afternoon, everyone. I thank the conference organizer for accepting my paper to present. So my topic is an interdisciplinary research. So the topic is on a comprehensive framework for real-time monitoring of human-wildlife harmony in Mudumalai forest of Tamil Nadu. So which is in Nilagiri district. So this is the place which why we have selected is that. So this is the place we have more of human wildlife conflicts. So we have selected this area. So the overview of this presentation is that, so we'll have the detailed introduction, so the review of literatures, the study region, why it has been selected, the main objective of this proposed work, then the methodologies which we are following, and the expected outcomes, as well as the scalability and conclusion. So first, before entering into the topic, let us know what is meant by wildlife conflict. So it actually, this wildlife conflict, it is a complex and widespread issue. So everywhere, since we are very, means the people who are closely living, residing towards the, the forest areas, or those who have some movements within the forest premises. So we are facing this issue. So it is nothing but the activities of human populations. So they intersect with those of the wildlife in the habitats. So it is actually a negative outcome that is derived from direct interaction between the humans as well as the wildlife, because it affects either of the parties. Either it disturbs the human being, or it affects it just has a negative outcome with the, that is the disturbance with the wild animals. So because of this habitat fragmentation, this is happening why? Because of the the habitat fragmentation, then loss of natural habitats, because nowadays we are going with so much of deforestation, then occupation of the people, the human expansion, the wildlife territories, then competition of resources, crop rates, livestock depredation, and human expansion. So we have so many because of these issues, this human wildlife contact conflicts has arisen. So we have identified this Mudumalai Tiger Reserve, because it is an area of around 0.32 hectares in the Nilgiri district, and it is a home for a variety of ecologically valuable species, mainly this Asian elephants, Bengal tigers, Indian leopards, gaur, barking deer, etc. So the most of the issues, that is a maximum number of reports where states that there exists man-animal conflict, mainly in the Mudubalai forest, because of the interaction as well as the competition between the human activities and wildlife in the shared landscapes. Hence, so the main purpose to select is to imperatively we have to study to control such conflicts and promote the coexistence, that is the existence of both the human being as well as the animals without any conflicts. So for the long-term conservation of both the wildlife as well as the human interest. So we have reviewed a few papers, and with that review, so we have proposed the study. So the same thing, so human wildlife, it is a reciprocal process. So wherein both the human as well as the animal, they suffer. So they don't have any positive outcome. So they suffer among each other. And it is considered to be one of the most complicated and pressing problem by most of the authorities, mainly the forest department and wildlife management authorities. So most of the past studies, we have considered this because many of the past studies, it concentrated only on the sensor-based systems. So they have just used the sensors to control the human-animal conflict by detecting the movement of the wild animals, and it provided the timely alerts to reduce the potential conflict. So this was the past studies it concentrated on. One of the authors, so he has proposed a framework that categorizes the conflicts through habitat encroachment and resource competition, risk of human safety. So this is the reason of this wildlife conflict. But there were several technical challenges of remote sensing we have related to the forest inventories as well as the validation of the model. So our study, it concentrates on developing a novel approach for real-time monitoring of human-wildlife interactions, which leverages a comprehensive integration of satellite imagery data, then Internet of Things, IoT sensors, as well as by using the deep learning techniques. So the main objective of our study is to promote the biodiversity conservation and sustainable coexistence between the human as well as wildlife in the Mudumalai Forest Conservation Area. And the sub-objectives is to develop a monitoring system to identify the human hotspots in the sense where there are more movement of both the human as well as the animal, that is human-animal interaction based on the movement of the human, then the wildlife movements as well as the environmental variables. So these things will be extracted from the satellite imagery from the Mudumalai Forest Conservation Area. Then to deploy an IoT sensor network in the identified hotspots to capture the real-time wildlife movements and design a deep learning model to predict the potential human-wildlife conflicts. Then to provide real-time alerts as well as the early warnings to relevant stakeholders. So the stakeholders, mainly the forest department, as well as the residents, the local communities, to mitigate the conflicts and promote the human-wildlife harmony. Then to establish a feedback mechanism to continuously improve the monitoring system's accuracy as well as the effectiveness. So coming to the study area, so the Mudumalai Tiger Reserve, it is located in Nilgiri Hills of Tamil Nadu, India. So it covers an overall area of around 321 square kilometers. That is 0.32 hectares. So one of the world's biodiversity. So this region is considered as one of the world's biodiversity hotspots. So that is the reason we have studied. We have selected this area for the study due to its rich biodiversity as well as the endemic species. So this is the map of the Mudumalai Tiger Forest Reserve. So it serves as a habitat for about 80 plus tigers and a large number of Asian elephants. So coming to the methodology, so the proposed system, it leverages the high resolution satellite imagery data to pinpoint the hotspots. So we will just find out the hotspots where there is a human wildlife interaction and more number of conflicts were occurring. Then we develop deep learning algorithms. It will be employed to analyze the satellite imagery data and to identify the patterns suggestive of potential areas of conflict. By training these neural networks on historical data, that is the data which is collected from the past images, and continually updating them with real-time information, the system accurately identifies the regions of heightened risk. So where there is a more possible occurrence of this human-wildlife interaction. So we have developed several stages to identify to carry out the work. So first one is hotspot identification, then real-time monitoring of wildlife human movements as well as the alert system. So this is how the proposed framework is. So first one is identification of human wildlife interactions. That is, we're identifying the hotspots. So it will be done, the satellite images will be captured. So the images will be pre-processed. Then the processed image will be proposed, will be sent to the, will be, will be used for, used as an input for to develop a deep learning model. With that deep learning model, we can, means the result will be like, we will get the hotspots to be identified. Then after receiving that images, so we will use it as an input. So like how we will install the thermal cameras, we will install the infrared sensors and acoustic sensors, because we need to know not only with the sensible cameras, also we should also go with the sensors, because the movement may vary, as well as the environmental sensor. So with these inputs which we collect, we will deploy it in a lightweighted deep learning model, and this model will help us in providing the location of the animal, then what type of animal it is, so how many counts are there, whether there is a movement of animals in that particular hotspot area. Then this information will be sent as an alert system through from the IoT sensor networks. So it will be via app. It just alerts the
Dear
the local
presenter,
people.
you have 2 minutes left.
Okay, so we will just alert I'll alert the local people as well as the forest department. So this is how it works in the stage when it is satellite imagery acquisition. So the satellite images will be will be obtained. So mainly the data will be collected from NASA's Landsat as well as the European Space Agency's Sentinel mission, Sentinel-2. Then the data will be pre-processed. Then it will be sent. The deep learning model will be developed to identify the movement of the region. Then the hotspots will be identified. So so the next one is the deep learning model for identification of hotspots. So we will do like this. Then the next one is the sensor. The stage two is the real-time monitoring. So we use thermal cameras, infrared sensors, acoustic data, and this data will be used as a input for to develop a model, lightweighted deep learning model, to give out the output. So mostly we use the Raspberry Pi to to develop the model, to deploy the model. Then the output will be given in the form of identifying the location, animal, as well as the count. Then the next one is early warning system. So through apps, so from the sensors, from the data will be collected. So from the sensors, it will be, the area will be mapped. The app will, through app, the information will be shared to the local people. So this is how the methodology is been formed. So so at the last is the feedback and adaptation. So to improve the performance as well as accuracy of the work, the feedback and adaptation, feedback mechanisms will be done. So the expected outcome is enhanced understanding of human wildlife interaction and potential conflict hotspots in the study area. Then improved capacity for early warning detection. Then empowerment of rural communities and stakeholders through real-time information sharing. Then establishment of a scalable monitoring framework that can be replicated in other diversities hotspots. So when if we are just making an initial test with the Mudumali Forest Reserve, so that is a tiger reserve. So with that reserve, we will if it is more accurate and if it is more scalable, so this will be used in the other reserve forest also. So the data will be standardized and it will be used. So the main objective of is to reduce the cost. That is, we use the low cost sensors, and at the same time, we want to improve the efficiency. I mean, the efficiency as well as the accuracy of the results. The conclusion is that the proposed real-time monitoring system, so it offers a comprehensive solution to the challenge of human-wildlife harmony. Then it improves the capacity for early detection and mitigation of human-wildlife conflicts. And also by integrating these sensors and satellite images and deep learning models, it may enable a proactive interventions, then continuous improvement and sustainable coexistence between the human and wildlife. So this is some of the references which which we have used for the study. So thank you so much. So any queries, it can be answered. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. All the presenters, if you have any questions or suggestions, you can drop in the chat box regarding the presentations presented by the authors here. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We can move further. Shivani, are you here?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Just a minute.
Okay.
So you are presenting a paper on challenges. Just
Challenges and opportunities for
just a
data
minute. Yeah,
interpretation.
yes. You
Okay.
can. Just a minute. I have some connection issue. Yeah, you can start with your presentation.
Okay, ma'am.
Your
Can you see
screen,
my
yeah,
PPT?
yes. Your
Okay,
screen
okay.
is visible.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. Today I will be presenting on challenges and opportunities for data interpretation in augmented analytics with natural language generation models. So introduce myself and your affiliation. So here this presentation covers the introduction, literature review, challenges, scope of research, proposed model, and conclusion related to augmented analytics and energy. So first, we are going for the introduction. So the augmented analytics uses machine learning, natural language creation and querying to automate data analysis with the focus content analysis, data understanding, and language presentation. So the augmented analytics integrates the machine learning, natural language generation, and querying to automate data analysis. It addresses the constraints in the data science by combining individually judgment and statistic, making it easier to get insights for the decision making. To help it's helped to bridge the gap between the complexity and human understanding, but still faces the challenges is in usability and adoption. So, however, the challenges interfaces and specific expertise prevent large consumption, leading to the development of natural language querying and generating in analytics tools like as a company. This innovative technology provides a clear answer in plain English, increasing the scope and value of analytics in form across the industries. So our goal is to develop a model that efficiently interprets data and generates the result in natural language for better decision making. So my aim is to design and develop model for interpretation in language-based output generation in augmented analytics. So my objectives are first is to collect and process data set for the data understanding and taking insights. The second is to design and develop model which understands the natural language generation. Third is to process queries and generate result by aggregating sentence. And fourth one is to compare model components and evaluate the processed model. So here are some literature reviews. So the first paper is to review of geospatial content in IEEE visualization publications. So it's the strength is to say the study categorized papers into geospatial data domains, express that relation to bias conference paper types. So here over the 30 years aiming to understand the quantity of the role geospatial subject matter, laying on the foundation for the future meta-analytics and investigation in geospatial analytics and visualization. So its limitation is to addressing potential subjectivity, reliance on the word search method, influent methodological detail, focuses on quantity over the quality. So the dataset biases challenges is to temporal contextualization. So the term is crucial for a comprehensive understanding for geospatial subject matter in visualization research. My another paper is to type of variables, descriptive statistics and sample size. So its strength is to fundamental distinction between the descriptive and inferential statistical offering practical examples, and so its limitation is to practical example and specific application descriptive and interferential statistic potentially hindering readers ability to consent the theoretical consent to real world scenarios. My third paper is to visualization techniques, a guide to unlocking your potential. Its strength is to effectively expose the science and benefits of visualization techniques, leveraging concepts such as neuro plasticity, neural pathways, and the reticular activating system, supported by these studies demonstrating positive outcomes in areas such as athletic ability, stress reducing, and even physiological effects on the immune system. Though its limitation is to offering a predominantly positive perspective without addressing potential individual variations or contextual factors. So by three papers, I have visualized that energy for data analytics improves the data comprehension, reduces bias, and enhancing trust. It supports the automated insights, but must balance simplicity, accuracy, and ethical concerns. And the researchers have explored the various techniques such as template-based analysis, statistical models, and deep learning approaches to improve the data interpretation. So challenges and approaches is to improving natural language generation for the data overview. Augmented analytics process provides such as assuring simplicity, dealing with various information types, addressing biases, building the trust, personalizing clarification, ensuring speed, scalability, justice, and many more. So despite these challenges, collaborative initiative performance the enhance energy efficiency by simplifying the data comprehension, providing by better decision making. This development has an opportunity to transform the sharing the data and application of the data insights. The goal is to collect and process data set to get insight, build a model that is efficient in natural language generation process queries, build up sentences to provide result, and then compare the an evaluation model in components. So the my key challenges in data interpretation, including the understanding raw data, maintaining accuracy, and ensuring accessibility. So we must implement the advanced logic structures and visualization methods to support better data comprehension, and combining the human expertise with the machine generated insights will improve the effectiveness of analytics system. So the scope of the research work is to
Yeah,
our
presenter,
research.
you have 2 minutes left.
Okay. So our research explores interactive dashboards, heat maps, tree maps, and AI-driven visualization to improve interpretation by leveraging energy models like GPTs, sequence to sequence, and LSTM. We aim to generate accurate context-aware textual explanation. So here is my proposed model and framework. We propose a three-step framework: data collection and processing. That is the cleaning and structuring the data set. Second is to natural language querying. This to converting complex data into user-friendly insights. Third is to visualization and reporting, is to generating a graph summarize and narratives for the better decision making. This model ensures objectivity, speed, and scalability for the real world application. So here is to design and develop of my interpretation model. Is the model follows the modular approach where different energy techniques handle sentence structuring, summarization, and query response. Comparison between various energy models will help us identify the most efficient approach for the data interpretation. And the conclusion is to augmented analytics simplifies decision making by merging AI and human judgment. Our research highlights the importance of developing efficient energy models to make data interpretation more accessible. However, challenges like biases, accuracy, and scalability need further exploration. Thank you for your time. And here is my references. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation, Shivani. Sir, any questions?
Yes. So, Shivani, the presentation was very good. Congratulations for the same. Can
Thank
you
you,
tell
sir.
what are the limitations of this paper?
Sir, the limitation is to now I have to manage my models. That I have to fix my model. For that, I research so many models, so, like GPT-3, Lambda. So they have some limitation that they do not give us a open source API key. So I have to choose someone GPT-3 API for my further work. And my data set are also not fixed yet. So I work on that also. So maybe I'm going for the data set for e-commerce data set.
So, are you using some existing API or you are making your own API?
No, sir. Right now, I'm not using anything because I have not decided the data set. First, I want to I have to decide the data set. I'm researching on some papers, so I catch the e-commerce data set is based for my model. So first, data set is fixed. Then after I choose any API key or any model of API.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Shivani. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, moving to our next presentation. We have Saroj with us, who would be presenting a paper on dictionary-based approach for analyzing Marathi text data.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Am I
Good
audible?
afternoon. Yes, ma'am, you're audible. You can start sharing your screen, please.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, good afternoon, all. I'm Dr. Saroj Date, presenting a paper on dictionary-based approach for analyzing Marathi text data. Before the presentation, I would like to thank the organizers for accepting my paper and giving me the chance to present the paper in this conference. So, these are the contents of my presentation. So the paper is about analyzing text data by using dictionary-based approach. So first of all, I would like to introduce the importance of text analysis in today's era. As we know that nowadays digital transformation increases the need of textual data analysis. So there are many studies which are
Excuse
being.
me.
Yes, sir.
I think your slides are not moving ahead. Just check it.
Okay. Can you see it, sir?
We can say it's on the first page itself.
Yeah,
You
it's only
can
first page being shown.
just move the slide. As
Just,
in when you speak now, you can just move your slide.
Yes, now it's visible.
just a minute, sir. I will do it once again. I will do it once again. So I will start the presentation again. Can you
Yes,
see
it's
moving slides?
it's at the introduction page now.
Is it on the introduction page?
Yes, it's on the
Can you
introduction.
see the slides moving?
Just move to another page, please. Let me confirm.
Okay, like literature survey.
No,
Just
you can just, start.
Are you click on the slideshow also?
Click on the slideshow. It will automatically go as and when you move.
a minute. Can you see this
Now it's
presentation?
on the literature. I can
Literature
see
survey.
your
Yeah.
statement, but please, you can just customize it to the slideshow option so that we can move it from the arrow itself. Just move. Yeah. Now move to the other slide. Yeah. Now it's fine. It's on the
Is it
introduction.
visible?
Yes, ma'am. It's
Is it
visible.
okay?
Yes, it's okay. Please go on to the slide,
This
please.
is the first slide, then
Yeah.
contents,
Yes.
then
Second.
introduction.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it
Please
okay
start.
now?
Please start. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I will start it once again. So the importance of text analysis in today's digital era. As of now, a lot of data is being generated, and we know that many of the studies are being carried out in languages like English and Chinese. But very less work is done in other languages, including Indian languages. So this research work focuses on analyzing text data written in Marathi language. So the necessity of this work. We know that Marathi is spoken by millions of people in Maharashtra. It holds rich cultural and educational insights. But there are less linguistic resources available for the analysis. That's why um, it is still unexplored for text analysis. Analyzing text data in regional languages is useful for uncovering socio-cultural insights. So languages like Marathi face considerable challenges due to the scarcity of computational resources. For analyzing the text data, there are various approaches like dictionary-based approach, machine learning-based approach, and deep learning-based approach. So in this work, we are using dictionary-based approach. The reason is that it is suitable for the languages with limited annotated data sets. So there are various lexical resources for Marathi text analysis. Some of the resources are like CentiWordNet, then L3Cube Mahascent, then NRC VAD for Marathi language, as well as for Better, then MSWN called as Marathi CentiWordNet, and which I am using in this paper is Linguistic Enquiry and Word Count, which is called as Marathi LIWC. So in this work, we are using one of the resource, as I told you, it is called as MRLIWC, that is Marathi version of Linguistic Enquiry and Word Count. Over the past few decades, this is one of the gold standard for text data analysis. It uses dictionary-based approach and it classifies the given text data into predefined psychological and linguistic categories. It enables the researchers to explore aspects of personality, behavior, emotions, and social interactions. Currently, this resource is available for 14 languages in the world, like English, German, Chinese, French, Italian, Japanese, etc. Recently, the author of the paper, have developed this LIWC successfully for Marathi language. So, in this research work, we want to use Marathi LIWC as for various applications. One of the application we have decided to use it for LIWC in education domain. So MR LIWC is the translation of English LIWC and it customizes the various algorithms for Marathi language. It is developed as an adaptation of the well-known LIWC tool. This may be used in various areas like psychology, social sciences, marketing, computational linguistics, and education. So as a case study, we are using in education domain. So as per the literature survey, existing applications are used for English language. So this study evaluates Marathi LIWC for showing the effectiveness of Marathi LIWC and the original LIWC version. So in the literature review, we have studied few papers which are shown on the screen from the last 5 years, that how LIWC can be used in education domain. In the methodology, there are four steps, broad steps like called as data collection, data pre-processing, data analysis, and interpretation. So we have collected the data from Kaggle, and it consists of feedback samples given by the students. There are 185 student feedback samples from one North Indian university. The feedback covers various aspects like teaching quality, course contents, exam, lab work, library, and extracurricular activities. The student have the given feedback as 1, 0, -1, that is positive, neutral, and negative. So we pre-process the data for removing special characters, emojis, and duplicate feedback entries. And as there is no benchmark data available, and we want to study the correlation between two tools, we translated the data from English to Marathi by using machine translation approach. Then we analyze the data for both the feedback entries like Marathi version as well as for English version. For data analysis, as I told you, we have used LIWC, that is Linguistic Enquiry and Word Count tool or software. It is used to scan the feedback and detect linguistic patterns written there. It analyzes the feedback over 18 dimensions in the text data.
Excuse me.
After analysis, we have compared.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you please come on your main contribution of the research? Like methodology is all okay, but what is the experiments you have made and what are the outcome of the experiment?
Yes.
Yeah, please. Okay.
So this is the methodology
You
written
just have
in.
2, 3 minutes left. Just
Yes,
go
ma'am,
on
yes.
with your presentation faster, please.
Yeah. So these are the results after analyzing the text data. So first two column indicates positive emotion result by using English and Marathi LIWC, and second two column indicates negative emotion result for English and Marathi LIWC. So we know that in statistic, for given two set of data, Pearson correlation coefficient measure the linear correlation. Therefore, we are use this particular measure for calculating the result. So the formula is written on the screen. As per the analysis, this shows 0.9 correlation for positive emotions and 0.84 correlation for negative emotion. The results are shown graphically on this page here. So we can say that within the experiment, we have present the analysis of feedback from the student data, and the result indicate that the student have favorable perception towards the institute. So this particular tool can be used in various domains like feedback analysis in Marathi language, monitoring learning progress, then learning assessment in Marathi language classes, emotion state assessment, and comparative study. So moving toward the conclusion and future scope. So this paper highlights adaptation and application of LIWC for Marathi language. The development of this tool represents a step forward in understanding the linguistic and psychological aspect of Marathi learners. Then in this paper, student feedback on teaching learning process are analyzed. As analyzed from the result, student perception towards the institute is more positive. In the future, the dictionary-based approaches can be applied to other domains like emotion detection, customer feedback analysis, psychological well-being, brand perception studies, etc. So these are the references that we are used for the
Okay,
research.
that's fine. It's a nice
Yeah.
presentation. So can you tell me like how many papers you have gone through to make your this objective of research? before starting your research?
Review papers.
Review papers?
Sir, I have gone through various 20 research
Fine.
papers.
So can you tell me what is the base paper for your research?
So, sir, basically, there is no base paper, one base paper. Okay.
Okay.
We have done the research by analyzing 10 papers out of this 20.
Fine.
From various papers, we have seen for education domain what they are studied like this.
So can you tell me what were the limitations in that particular paper? The
Uh,
main
the,
limitations.
the limitations are that as this is the dictionary-based approach, we cannot use any new word if the students are writing the feedback. It is not
Okay.
open domain. It is used
Okay.
for a particular domain only, or it is it gives less accuracy for sarcasm detection. Because
So
it is,
have you tried to overcome those limitations in your research or not?
sir, actually, I'm trying to do it. The research is going on, not yet completed.
But you told that your this outcome is giving 98% accuracy.
No,
So,
sir, that is okay,
how-
but still I want to improve it for further work.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Have you also compared your result with the existing results?
Yes, sir, I have compared with existing result. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so as per the comparison, what is your statements?
So, see, sir, can you see my screen? Result
Yes,
and
we can see. Yes, we
yeah,
can see.
yeah, yes. So for existing result are for English LIWC, sir, my results are given as Marathi LIWC domain. For example, 98.21 is the base result, and for my work it is 97. Like this. I have
Okay.
compared with existing tool, and this Marathi LIWC is developed by me, and as there is no benchmark, therefore I have to complete with the original tool.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Fine. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Saroj. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
So we have our next presenter with us, Hardik Patel, who would be presenting a paper on From Data to Decisions, Enhancing Student Retention with Predictive Analysis. Yes, sir, you can start sharing your screen.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I have shared my presentation screen. Ma'am, is it all right?
Yeah,
Visible?
it's visible and you're audible as well.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, Deepika ma'am, Vijay sir, and all dear participants. My paper ID is 702. My name is Hardik I. Patel. I am research scholar at Charotar University of Science and Technology, Gujarat, along with my guide, Dharmendra Patel. I am going to present my paper on From Data to Decisions for enhancing student retention at higher educational institutions using predictive analytics. I will be covering on introduction, research gap identification, proposed methodology, data collection and segmentation, predictive modeling training, model explainability and interpretation, and real-time data integration and early intervention, and finally conclusion. In higher educational institutions, reputation, financing, and student achievement are all impacted by student retention. In order to properly identify at-risk students, traditional methods to retain the students frequently lack the predictive capacity and flexibility which is required. So in order to predict student retention rates, this study makes use of machine learning approaches, giving academic leaders insightful impacts such as financial or behavioral, academic, and geographical factors of students are taken into the consideration. The model finds important patterns and trends related to retention outcomes by using sophisticated techniques like gradient boosting and neural networks. A methodological procedure that includes feature selection, data preparation, and model assessment guarantees excellent accuracy and scalability. By employing the explainable AI technologies to make forecast clear and actionable, the study also highlights the significance of interpretation and interpretability. This method will allow the institutions to apply timely interventions such as academic help to the students, counseling they require, or any financial aid that require by turning the raw of data into useful forecasts. The results show how predictive analytics has the power to transform retention tactics and promote the inclusive of effective educational system. This study offers a guide for incorporating machine learning into higher educational strategy and decisions. So our research gap is our existing ML model for student retention prediction, mainly an academic and demographic data, and it is neglecting the behavioral and psychological factors. So multimodal data integration includes LMS, interactions, and extracurricular participation that is needed for comprehensive model, and personalization is also lacking in the current traits. So explainability and ML models reduce the trust and integration. So explainable AI can improve the transparency and adoption. The static models using historical data fail to capture the real-time student behavior, necessitating the dynamic and time series-based approaches. So bridging these gaps can enhance the accuracy, ethical assurance, and timely intervention for better student retention outcomes. So the proposed methodology, our research says that the framework integrates academic, behavioral, socio-demographic, and financial data for holistic retention prediction model. Clustering algorithms like K-means and DB-scan will segment the students based on shared characteristics, enabling the personalized predictive models. The explainable AI techniques like LIME and SAP will enhance the transparency, fostering the trust and actionable insights for the educators. Real-time data integration from LMS and advisement records will allow for adaptive tracking of student behavior. Time series analysis will monitor student performance trends, enabling the early identification of at-risk students, and the hybrid machine learning framework will provide accurate, personalized, and ethical retention predictions, improving the student outcomes. The data has been collected for our research from multiple sources, including our academic records, behavioral records, social and demographic, that is a socio-economic records, some psychological records, and financial data for building the comprehensive data set. Pre-processing steps have been handling the missing values, standardization, encoding, and dataset integration for structured analysis. Students are clustered using the techniques like K-means and DB-scan based on the academic performance, socio-economic status, and their engagement levels. This segmentation enables personalized predictive models, improving.
Excuse me, Hardik.
Yes, sir.
I think we are running very short of time. Ne? So you just come on your main conclusion and this contribution
okay.
part.
Yes. Okay. So we have taken this data set and split across 70% and 30% training and testing, and we have evaluated using the accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 scores. And to improve the model's transparency, explainable AI has been included. And using this method, we can gain the important insights for main predictions, such as student is likely to continue for the further study or not, student will drop out or not. So visual aids, including this explainable AI, can help in doing so. And along with that, we have also incorporated the real-time data integration. So time series analysis, we have incorporated for engagement and performance over time of a student, and continuous real-time updates of refine and retention has been incorporated. Along with that, we have also incorporated this real-time data integration with identifying at-risk student in one portfolio and supposed to continue student in another portfolio. So this will alert and it will help the higher educational institutions to counsel the students accordingly, like teachers can counsel particularly based on the criteria and the results received. So directly coming to the conclusion, predictive analytics, this revolutionize that student retention by identifying them at risk and enabling the timely intervention. By integrating machine learning with behavioral, psychological, and academic data, institutions can enhance the retention accuracy, and future advancement and adaptive learning like real-time data integration and ethical frameworks will further optimize these systems. As education evolves, predictive analytics will also play a key role in fostering the student success and reducing the attrition. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Hardik. Sir, any questions?
Yeah, Hardik ji,
Yes, sir.
your presentation was very good, but I think we have not been able to see any tables or graphs or any experimental results. So, is it a review paper or something?
Sir, this is a review paper, and I am in a process of deploying by learning some machine learning algorithm. So I haven't started deploying yet, but I have gone through I can say strengthy literature review. I have reviewed 51 to 52 papers, and by learning by looking at those papers, I have found certain things which I have highlighted into the research gap. And along with that, I have also found certain limitations. Sir, as these are the student data, so it can be considered as some sensitive data, and student behavior changes time to time. So dynamic behavior of the student can be considered as one of the limitation in my study. And as these are the original data we are looking for, so ethical and privacy concern can also be there, which I have considered that need to be attended. And the data which are available, right now they are available to our university data, original data. But if we apply the research on a foreign university or some readily available Kaggle or some other data sources, then we also have to look after the demographic and economical behavior of Indian origin student and American origin student or Australia origin student or some other
let me suggest something to you. Like
Yes, sir, yes.
theoretically, whatever you are telling, it's very good. But you know,
Yes, sir.
when we talk about the research and you are doing
Yes.
some review paper, so it should be
Yes.
based on some parameters. So
Yes.
just identify some parameters, and whatever things you are telling, put those things in the parameters itself.
Sir, one
as per-
point I would,
Yeah.
sir, sorry for intervention, but as we have talked about parameters, sir, I have identified two types of parameter:
Okay.
academic parameters and social-economic parameter.
So
Academic
have you
parameters
have you shown in the PPT also those parameters?
No, sir, I haven't
So
shown in
this should
PPT.
be shown in the
Yes.
PPT. Like I am telling, your work is good, but
Yes,
the
sir.
work should be viewed as a good work. So how
Yeah,
it
yes,
will be
sir,
viewed as a
got
good
it,
work
got it.
when you put it in the parameters?
In parameters, yes,
These
sir.
are the parameters, and as per those parameters, these are the limitations, and these are we want to do in our research. So that is how you can make some tables or something, some graphs or
Yes,
something.
sir. Yes,
It
sir, I
will
got
make your
it.
research paper attractive. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Fine.
sir.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Hardik.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So we move on to our next presentation. It is Pratibha, who would be presenting a paper on IoT-based aerial vehicle system for agriculture application. Are you here, ma'am?
Yeah.
You can start sharing your screen, please.
Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Pratibha Sape. I'm a third year BTech student from JSPM RSCA with my team members Mitali, Gayatri, Nevase, Gayatri, Gujar, and Maitri Kadam. So yeah, speaking about introduction of my topic, in regions where tall and dense trees are possible, like sugarcane, it is highly difficult for the farmers to perform the spraying mechanism. So, which is due to the reason like there are animals hidden with serious threats of the safety. Also, their abstraction. The cultivation of tall and dense trees in the sugarcane signifies risk to the farmers as there are counsel danger wild animals such as tiger, wolf. Traditional method of pesticide spraying requires farmers to manually navigate their field, expose them to potentially fatal encounter issues. This project proposes the development of a self-propelled clean drone system enhanced with IoT. So yeah, looking at my architecture diagram, there are basically three modules that are being used in my system. The first module deals with the initialization of the drone. My drone gets initialized in 8 directions when it begins. I'm using A-star algorithm over here to make sure that the drone is directed to the nearest possible point of the coordinate, which will help me to reduce the flying time of the drone to reach a particular point. The second point or the module deals with traversing of the drone. This mechanism determines the movement of the drone over the land over which we need to perform the spraying mechanism, where we can define the path either in a vertical manner or in a horizontal manner. This mechanism will help me to perform my actual implementation of spraying the pesticides over the trees. In the third module represents the refilling system. In case if the fuel content or the water content of the tank drops down to a certain level, then it is considered by the sensor and an alarm is burst, which allows the sensor to move its original location for the purpose of refilling. So the work that I have been presented till now is my study regarding the waypoints, how actually this drone is going to move. So in the given diagram, we can see that the model is plotting in an agriculture. The main aim is to cover the entire area of spraying using a drone. The field is divided into a grid system which represent as a 2D array, where coordinate AB, AE, BE denotes the starting and the ending point of the top of the edges, while XY and XCYE denotes the bottom of the edges. The red dots indicates the waypoint where the drone will be navigated, ensuring through the coverage by following a systematic path through the grid. This method provides efficient and a precise pesticide application across the entire field. The motivation or the aim behind this is farmer safety, technology innovation, sustainability agriculture, and economic efficiency. Speaking about technology innovation, in this I'm going to use the integration of IoT along with deep learning model, which help me in cutting edge approach of solving this challenge. By leveraging this technology, the project seeks to enhance a difficult or a enhancing crop field accessing. Speaking about sustainability agriculture, this reduces the risk which is associated with manual pesticide spraying, and it also provides a better crop management for an environmental concern. Economic efficiency, by reducing the need for manual labor, it will provide me a large-scale operations which will be helpful for improving overall farm productivity. I basically have three objectives for the given project, that is integrating advanced technology, improving spraying efficiency, and promote sustainability agriculture. In enhancing the technology, I am using sensors, drones, which will be helping me to perform safe pesticides application. Speaking about spraying efficiency, I am going to use GPS-based farm coordinates, which are being easily available by the government website to each farmer. Promote sustainability. This will be helped by using the local disturbance to the wildlife while reducing the environmental impact of the pesticide use to the targeted application. This is the literature review for my project. And here comes the conclusion. The integration of drone technology with IoT and deep learning presents a transformative solution for the challenges of pesticide spraying in dense crop fields like sugarcane. By automating this process, the project significantly enhances farmer safety, preventing dangerous encounter with hidden wildlife. The drone ability to navigate using GPS coordinate and not smart detection system and efficient application. This innovation not only protects the well-being of farmers, but also promotes sustainability and cost effectiveness. Thank you.
Thank you,
May I know
Pratibha.
what is your name, please?
My name is Pratibha.
Pratibha, I think Pratibha, and I think there are 4 more students with you. You 5 together did this project.
Yeah,
So is it an outcome of some project or is it a simple review paper?
this is the review paper and I'm currently working on this project for its implementation.
Like you are working on some drone project.
Yeah.
Fine. So how did you get this information, like this motivation to work on this drone technology?
Okay, so I belong to a farmer family where I see my family facing issues like we get dense crops like sugarcane. So once the sugarcane reach a particular height, which can be above 3.5 to 4.9, it becomes difficult for the farmer to move throughout the agriculture to perform the action of spraying. So I'm trying to implement a drone in such a way that the farmer sitting at his own home can perform this operation on spraying. So I am basically automating this drone, which will be working on the GPS coordinates itself. And it will be entirely an independent drone. There is no intervention of any human to handle the drone.
Okay, so what I can see, there are five contributors for this paper. So other than you, what are the role of other contributors in this paper?
Okay, so
Like
some
they
of
are
my
working on the
friends,
project, or they are like how they are helping you?
they are also working along with me. We are a team, and we are just using one of our lab from the college. And after the college, we sit there for 2 to 3 hours. As we belong to a computer science department, so it's quite difficult for us to make study of the motors as it comes in the ENTC. So we just take help from the friends. We understand the mechanism, how the BLDC's motor work, how the propellers work, how the flight controller work. So currently we have engaged with a great knowledge of how these parts of the drone gonna work, and we are also wide these parts. So we will be now working on the actual implementation of this project.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. So we move on to our next presentation. Shoaib Ahmed Shaurav, who will be presenting a paper on road guard, comprehensive deep learning based detection of potholes, speed breakers, and drain holes. Yes, sir. You can start sharing your screen.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm going to share my screen.
Yes, please. Yeah, your screen is
Okay.
visible.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah. You can start, sir.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm going to present on RoadGuard comprehensive deep learning based detection of potholes, its speed breakers, and drain holes. My paper ID is 800. And my name is Shoaib Ahmed Shaurav. I am from United International University, Dhaka, Bangladesh. And my fellow team members are Shahriar Sarkar and Salik Alis. Now, this is the outline of my presentation. First, I'm going to discuss about the problem statement and motivation, then literature review, then the data set we have created, then our proposed architecture in the methodology section, then result and analysis along with the future work. So this is our problem definition. Due to potholes, speed breakers, or drain holes, many vehicles get damaged or accidents may occur. And at times, these accidents are severe. So this is our motivation, that we want to actually detect these road anomalies to prevent these accidents or vehicles being get damaged. So in our literature review, we have analyzed 18 papers and highlighted 2 key gaps. This is basically the summary of the literature review. There is absence of comprehensive data set integrating potholes, drain holes, and speed breakers with both daytime and nighttime images included. And there is also a lack of comparative analysis on the detection performance of these road hazards under varying lighting conditions. We have created, in the dataset section, I'm going to discuss about the dataset we have created. Our dataset is based on Bangladeshi roads, and dataset is available on this given link. We have collected more than 1,000 images into 2 categories, day and night. Our images are divided into 3 classes, as mentioned earlier: pothole, speed breaker, and drain hole. And we have 3 type of datasets: daytime dataset, nighttime dataset, and combined dataset for comparative analysis on varying lighting conditions. We have actually 788 daytime images and 405 nighttime images. As on the left, we can see an image of daytime, and on the right, we can see an image at nighttime. We have used YOLO V11 as our base model. We are going to compare it with other benchmark models as well. So we have divided our methodology section into 4 subsections: proposed architecture, pre-process, annotate, and augmentation part. So this is our proposed architecture. First, we are going to feed the input images to RoboFlow, which is available free annotation tool. We have done manual annotation. First, we have pre-processed the images, then annotated the images, then augmented the images. After that, our road guard dataset is ready for training using the pre-trained YOLO V11 model, which will give us the predicted images. We have pre-processed each images to size of 640 by 640. As you can see, these are our training images, batch size 16. And in the annotation part, we have annotated the images using RoboFlow. We have drawn bounding box near the objects seen in the images. We have applied 3 augmentations only. One is horizontal flip, and other two are shear and brightness. We can see the first image is original image, and the next one in the middle, we can see the horizontal flipped image. And the third one is with the shear augmentation. And we have considered brightness because we have nighttime data set, and the brightness does help. So we have added that augmentation. Initially, we thought about the cutout augmentation, but in our real data set, we have many images with occlusions, so we have discarded that cutout augmentation. Results. We have divided the results into 4 subsections: training, prediction, performance, and ablation study. For training, we have used a machine with Intel Core i7, a CPU with 3.6 gigahertz processor with 12 gigabyte of graphical processing unit. And these are our training images, annotated images. We can see we have achieved a mean average precision of confidence threshold 50 of 0.844 on combined dataset and 0.838 on daytime dataset, and slightly less 0.816 on nighttime dataset. And this is an image of our validation dataset where the predictions we can see the predictions of the 3 classes. So basically, we are going to compare the performance on daytime, nighttime, and combined data set. So our YOLO V11 model actually performs really good. In daytime data set, it has overall 83% accuracy. And one problem we have here is the detection of the potholes in daytime. This performance slightly drops up to 0.599. And in the nighttime data set, we can see that there is a performance reduction in speed breaker, because in nighttime, the unmarked speed breakers are really difficult to detect. That is why the speed breaker performance slightly drops from 92 in daytime to 79% in nighttime data set. And in the combined data set, we have overall good accuracy in mean average precision 50, 0.844. But the overall performance is good, but the pothole detection rate is not good because of the daytime data sets. So we have actually compared YOLO V11 model with other YOLO models like YOLO V8, V5,
Dear
along with
presenter, you
faster,
have 2 minutes left.
okay, and faster RCNN as well. So YOLO V11 outperforms all the rest of the models, and faster RCNN actually performs better than the YOLO V8 and V5. Okay, for ablation studies, we have analyzed 3 convolutional modules: depth-wise separable convolution, simple group shuffle convolution, and in standard convolution. In this table, we can see that standard convolution outperforms all other convolutional modules. It has better inference speed as well. For future work, we want to improve the detection of potholes using the CAN-ES detection. So these are the references. We have added 18 references. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation.
Okay, your
Any
paper was very good. Congratulations for that. But you were telling that you are going to do something about the road accidents. So how this
Yes, sir.
research will help in avoiding the road accidents?
Uh, because at times it is really difficult for with normal eyes to detect the potholes, and speed breaker as well, because there are everywhere there are unmarked speed breakers in our country. So that is why we want to actually detect so that the accidents reduce.
So I think you yourself told that there is a very limited data set. So with the limited data set or no data set, how would you like continue your research?
we can continue our research because we have some limitations over our data set. Like there are some imbalance in daytime and nighttime data set. We can include that balance. We need to increase the nighttime images as well. And the pothole detection rate is really not good in daytime data set, but at nighttime, because of the reflection of the water, the pothole detection is better. So we are working on that. We want to use canage detection on the potholes as well. And we are working on the unmarked speed breakers as well, because the accuracy is or unmarked speed breakers is very low.
I think since you have a limitation of data set, so I suggest you first go for the like daytime of this extent avoidance. After that, we can go for the night time also.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. So thank you so much. Nice
Thank you,
presentation.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We move to our next presentation, which would be given by Madhusmita Mishra, who would be presenting a paper on semi-supervised learning approaches for imbalanced multi-class classification in real-life applications, a comprehensive survey. Yes,
Good
ma'am.
afternoon, ma'am.
Good
Am I
afternoon.
audible?
Yes.
Can I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Is it audible?
Yeah,
The
you're
screen is visible.
audible and the screen is visible as well.
So let me introduce myself first. I am Madhusmita Mishra. I am working as a research scholar in Oxford College of Engineering, Bangalore. I am going to present the paper on semi-supervised learning approaches for imbalanced multi-class classification in real-life applications. A comprehensive survey. So my co-author is my guide itself, who naming Art Kanangavalli. She is the HOD of the Department of IEC. Going through the presentation, I will be discussing the contents I have displayed here: introduction, methodologies, literature survey, recent advancement in semi-supervised learning, challenges of implementing semi-supervised learning, conclusion and references. So coming to introduction, first of all, I want to tell what is uh, semi-supervised learning. So generally in standard machine learning models, generally we target to optimize, in semi-supervised learning, generally we go through machine learning model, particularly which are relevant to the scenario when we have labeled data is generally balanced. But when I'm talking about semi-supervised learning, we have less number of labeled data and more level of unlabeled data. That is the scenario when my data set is imbalanced, which is known as imbalanced multi-class classification problem. So here, what is multi-class classification? Suppose we have lots of fruits to be classified as pears, apples, and oranges, and a fruit can be either pear or apple or orange. It can't be both at a time. So in multi-class scenario, when I'm trying to classify some data set, how it is balanced, that you have to check. Then what is imbalanced data set? Suppose in that classification problem, I have 80% data in class 1, 10% in class 2, and again 10% in class 3, in 8:1:1 ratio, then it will be known as an imbalanced data set. So now when we are emphasizing on ML models, standard ML models, they try to optimize or maximize the accuracy based upon the majority classes, and they try to overlook the minority classes. So in that, class imbalance poses significant challenge for semi-supervised learning, requiring model to make accurate predictions and multiple classes despite skewed data distribution. So when the disparity between majority and minority classes is substantial, semi-supervised learning models can easily overfit to majority classes, overlooking the minority classes. So to counter these limitations, SSL methodologies have been enhanced through several strategies like resampling, cost-sensitive learning, ensemble methods, and evolutionary algorithms. Coming forward, I'm going to discuss about various methodologies in semi-supervised learning for imbalanced multi-class scenario. So first of all is resampling technique. When I'm talking about resampling technique, it may be considered as undersampling, it may be considered as oversampling. So undersampling means when I have a less number of minority classes, you will try to undersample the majority classes to balance the scenario of the class distribution. So in that one technique is SMART, synthetic minority oversampling technique. One technique is called oversampling, that is known as synthetic undersampling, that is known as synthetic clustered undersampling technique. In that scenario, what we will try to do, they try to undersample the data of majority classes based upon the less clustered data set. So there is one undersampling technique. So, but problem is when you are going for sampling technique, in that there is a problem of overfitting arises if the data is in high dimensional data set. So in that, we can go for dimensionality reduction or noise resilient sampling or selective resampling. Dimensional reduction means when I have high dimensional data set, we can apply some technique like PCA or principal component analysis or SNE technique to reduce the complexity of data so that you can reduce the data set first. Then we can go for other techniques to apply for resampling. Next is noise resilient sampling. So we can go for adversarial training or data denoising ensures synthetic samples are of high quality and less prone to overfitting. This is called denoising technique. Then selective resampling. So synthetic data is generated only for underrepresented clusters, avoiding redundant or excessive sampling. So by following these three techniques, you can reduce the problem of overfitting in resampling techniques. Next is cost-sensitive learning. In cost-sensitive learning, there is a penalty weight. There is a penalty applied to the weight when you are going to do sampling measure in learning in semi-supervised learning. So what we used to do, there will be a penalty applied to the minority classes when the data is classified as imbalanced data set. So when we are going for cost sensitive learning, basically the example case studies what is using cost sensitive learning are healthcare and fraud detection. In healthcare, dynamic cost assessments prioritize rare disease prediction in medical imaging, ensuring high sensitivity and for minority classes. Then fraud detection, penalty-based approaches reduce false negatives in financial transaction monitoring, effectively identifying fraudulent activities. Coming to ensemble learning approaches. In ensemble learning approaches, they try to combine various classifiers to get a higher classification in the imbalanced data scenario. So that is called evolutionary dual ensemble learning, which optimizes by collecting various classifiers for classifying the data set. Then come to evolutionary algorithms. In evolutionary algorithm, it is based upon genetic algorithm, genetic pruning. For that, we have to optimize the model. Whatever model we have developed, we can optimize by applying some evolutionary algorithms. These are the literature survey what I went through. So few I will discuss, like first paper, it is on KNN and decision tree, multi-class pattern classification and imbalanced data, where pattern classification is done for imbalanced data. It has got improved accuracy for minority classes, but it again suffered from scalability challenges. Second paper what I went through is an undersampling approach for imbalanced data classification. They use decision trees and some undersampling technique. It got minority classes sensitivity is increased, but it limitation is potential data loss with undersampling. When they tried to do undersampling, they went to potential data loss. Third paper, like parameter-free classification in multi-class imbalance data set, where they use support vector machine as a classifier, where they use automatic parameter optimization rather than manual. It helps in reducing dependency of parameter tuning, but limitation is flexibility. Next is learning imbalanced multi-class data with optimal dichotomy weight. So it used optimal dichotomy weights using SVM. So weighted optimal dichotomy is the methodology. It went through improved classification balance, but complexity is weight optimization. How to optimize, when to optimize, how much to optimize, or these are the complexity they suffer. Then next is analyzing the classification
Dear
of imbalanced.
presenter, you can move your slides. You're still at the literature survey. You've,
Okay, fine.
yeah, you've already taken 6 minutes. Please hurry up, please.
So now I want to discuss about the recent advancements in semi-supervised learning. Semi-supervised learning has witnessed very significant advancements in recent years. Like I can include transformers. Transformers means the architecture which have revolutionized SSL by effectively handling sequential and high dimensional data, making them suitable for tasks like text classification and time series analysis. And deep generative models like variational autoencoder and GAN are being used to generate high quality synthetic samples. So generally these techniques are used for sampling high quality data for minority classes which are present in imbalanced dataset. Next is self-supervised pre-training. So models are pre-trained using self-supervised learning, which are fine-tuned for SSL tasks, which can work nicely even though we don't have sufficient number of level data. Then future research directive, developing scalable hybrid models. So scalable hybrid model in the sense, we should try to combine multiple models to generate a hybrid model which will be scalable. We should not get any scalability issue when we are generating our classification model. So which can be used in our healthcare and fraud detection or industrial monitoring. Next is enhancing real-time adaptability. Real-time adaptability in the sense in our real-life scenario, specifically when we are using sensor or you are using medical data and sensor data are dynamic in nature. Every time the data set is being changing. It may be balanced, it may be imbalanced, it may high quality of minority class, or it may be low quality of majority class. So our models should be developed in such a way that the models should be adaptable to the changing data, where it can be adaptable to the changing class levels in the dataset. Next is reducing computational complexity and energy consumption. So whenever we are developing any model, our imbalance scenario develops various complexity when you are trying to resolve the issues. So when model is going to develop, you should keep in mind that the complexity of the model should be reduced with high accuracy, then complexity, so that it should reduce the energy consumption. Then next is enhancing robustness to noisy and high dimensional data. So we should concentrate on
No, excuse me.
robustness.
I think we are
Yeah,
we're running out of time, so please do it, Hari. Come on your main conclusion part.
okay, sir. Thanks. So there are various techniques for advancement in your machine learning. Some challenges are there for implementing SSL in real-time application, like employing lightweight architectures we should do so that model pruning and neural network installation will be easy for us. Utilize active learning to focus on the most informative data points for training. Integrate edge computing solutions to reduce latency and enhance real-time performance. So in conclusion, I will tell, so the field of semi-supervised learning has evolved to address many challenges in machine learning, like imbalanced multi-class classification, which affects application across healthcare, finance, cybersecurity, and industrial monitoring. So in these domains, critical but rare events often represent minority classes, and traditional machine learning models tend to favor majority classes. So compromising accuracy, reliability for minority classes. So this survey has explored a range of SSL methodologies developed to address class imbalance, including resampling, cost-sensitive ensemble methods, evolutionary algorithms, and hybrid approaches, analyzing their strength, limitation, and applicability. So based on this analysis, several gaps in future research directives are evident. Scalability and computational efficiency remain major challenges, especially in high-dimensional and large-scale datasets. So the need for models that can adapt in the real time to changing class distribution is increasingly critical in applications like network security and healthcare monitoring. So where data patterns are more dynamic in nature. So these are the references what I followed.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Can you summarize this whole paper? What is the conclusion of the paper?
So conclusion paper is that when we are dealing with imbalanced data scenario in healthcare or in industrial application on security, so when we're trying to classify the data, it is generating a biased classification towards majority classes. So our focus is to give importance to minority classes also.
So have you implemented this research work or still is going on?
Yeah, it is going on, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Madhusmita. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
We have our next presenter with us, Khush, who would be presenting a paper on SkipNet, special attention skip connections for enhanced brain tumor classification. Yes, Khush, you can start sharing your screen.
Okay, one second.
Yeah.
Am I audible and is the screen visible?
Yeah,
Okay, so let me start.
just go to the
Uh,
first slide.
yeah.
Yeah, yes.
So I'm Kush Mendirata, a third year student at the Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee. I have done this work under the guidance of Professor Pratik Chattopadhyay from the Indian Institute of Technology, EHU. This work focuses on classifying brain tumors from MRI scans, and it utilizes spatial attention and skip predictions to do so. So let's start. So brain tumor classification is important for because of the rising incidence of brain tumors and the diverse treatments required nowadays. It involves identifying and classifying tumors from the MRI scans. The significance of early detection is that it facilitates timely treatment, increases chances of successful intervention, reduces complications, and prolongs life. And this diagnostic is not readily available in the remote areas. So our lightweight model like ours could make it available to those places where it is not yet there. So here's a literature survey. There have been a lot of works on brain tumor classification, and many of them have touched around 95%, but that's still not enough because it's a very sensitive topic and we have to go beyond what could be there. There have also been some works which have like gone beyond 96%, 90, even 98%, but their sample size was limited and it uh, can't be deployed in a lot of areas. Here's a research gap. In the tumor classification works, the utility of attention models has not been explored very much. So here we apply spatial attention in form of slip connections for a uniform feature extraction throughout the model. It is applied at every stage, so it creates a uniformity in the feature highlighting. And as it is applied as skip connection, it also helps in overcoming the problem of vanishing gradients. So here's the architecture of our model. The first are hybrid blocks. They are composed of CNN blocks and a spatial block. The convolution block is focused on feature extraction, while the spatial block is responsible for adding the context to the image. And there are 4 hybrid blocks along with dropout attached in our model. And, and then there is a spatial attention layer, which adds context to the 3D vector before it is fed to the perceptrons to perform the final classification task. This is a diagrammatic review of our model. We can see here the CNN blocks, which are a combination of conv layers and batch normalization layers. The spatial attention block and spatial attention layer both have the same architecture. The difference is only that the spatial attention block does not utilize padding. It is kept to match the feature extract feature shape extracted by the conv block so as to feed both of them together. Spatial attention layer is focused on providing context before the map is flattened. And here's the full model architecture you can see. And the hybrid block architecture, here it is. Input feature, spatial block. Input feature, the spatial CNN blocks are in parallel to each other, followed by max pooling layer. And then it gives the output feature map. There's a comparative analysis of a model. It achieves an accuracy of 96.9% and very less loss than compared to other models. It is also very low complexity, only 13 MB. Here's a table representing that how our model outperforms various other models. Here's a slide for performance and discussion. We can see here that the model, although it goes very smoothly on training, there are some buffer and validation split. But as it goes further, the buffer validation also reduces very much, and it goes uniform in the end. So the perks of architecture are the following. The model is deep, around 18 layers, yet it is light. It doesn't require preprocessing, only it requires image resizing. It is robust to data imbalance. Our data, which we obtained from Figshare, was roughly imbalanced and had around 3,000 slices, which we split in 70% training, 10% validation, and 20% test data. And also, it requires very less data to learn. We know that nowadays the neural network models require a lot of data to learn. They have a hunger for data, but it learns from very less amount of data and still gives a very good result. So here's a conclusion and future work. It provides reliable results. In the future, we could explore various data sets, more broad data sets, and a lot of different type of potential mechanisms could be used and in different way than ours. Like I've used it in a spatial, I've used it in slip collection way. So there could be another ways to implement attention mechanism. So here are the references for we have used, we have studied. There are 29 in total. Thank you all for listening patiently.
Can I know what is your name, please?
Kush Mendiratta.
Kush Mendiratta. It's I think very nice work you have done, and the presentation was
Thank you,
also
sir.
very good. So,
Thank you,
what
sir.
is the future scope for this particular thing? Have you completed your work, or still you are going to continue or improve this work?
So actually, I was part of an internship, so I have completed my part in the work here.
Okay,
So
okay, okay.
in the future work, we could explore like more attention mechanisms or more broader data sets. And I have not used any pre-processing. It was not required. So maybe the results of more advanced pre-processing techniques could be analyzed here.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Kush.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so we have our next presenter with us, Neenan Nagaraj Jelligar, who would be presenting a paper on smart energy meter. Yes, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can start sharing your screen, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Share your screen, please.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, is it visible?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Namaskar. Myself, Ninad Nagarajaliga. I study in KLE Technological University, Hubballi, Dharwad. These are my co-authors. We'll go through some of the contents like objectives, problem statement, block diagram, flow chart, and results. Our objective is basically continuously capturing and monitoring real-time energy data consumption, ensure and accurate data transmission using LTE technology, utilize cost-effective hardware for easy implementation, provide a user-friendly interface for managing energy data, optimize energy efficiency through consumption insights. Our problem statement after discussion with our faculties was develop a smart energy meter utilizing the voltage sensor and the current sensor to accurately measure voltage and current by non-invasive method. Block diagram. Here we have different sets of phases or stages in which initially we calculate and send the input values to the microcontroller, that is ESP32. And using the module SEMA 7670C module, we get the required transmission connection, that is of LTE connection. And using this connection, we send our required values and input values through the cloud to the Blink server, in which it calculates the optimal utilization and other parameters, and then sends it back through the mobile SMS app to the user. Here is the flow chart which tells us the project algorithm. We initially start and then initialize the parameters. Then we begin the loop in order to keep on receiving the input values from the physical aspects. Then we have this voltage and current sensor inputs, which is being sent to the cloud using LTE technology. Then we receive the alert system from the cloud in form of SMS messages. Then the parameters are also calculated and will be allowed for us to manipulate and optimize the results we are getting. Then we have the end of the loop and the end. This is the result. We were basically trying to improve the technology which was already implemented, but we wanted it in a consumer fashion, because the references which we went through were on a corporate level. I mean to say, they were on a municipality level. They were adding these particular technologies onto the meter itself, and they're trying to minimize the disturbance between the consumer and the municipality. But we wanted this to be a user-friendly and a consumer-friendly device, which helped us to control and optimize our own consumption and for our own information related needs. This is the implementation of the hardware, and we have below the Blink cloud service author, and to the right we have the messages being received in our mobiles. Thank you.
Deepika madam, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
I think we can move forward because we have limited time, so we'll not
Sir,
ask
we are
questions.
done with all the presentations.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Almost closing. We are all done. I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent contribution and presentation in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this conference. I hope this session was informative enough. I, on behalf of the whole team, thank you for the support during the 9th International Conference and all the previous 8th versions as well. We hope to see you in the 10th version in 2026. All the presenters would be getting their certificates through email within 2 working days. Further, all the papers have been forwarded to the Springer board and the publication will be live within 6 months. So kindly cooperate with the team. I also thank you, Sir Vijay Singh Rathod, sir, for chairing the session. It was great to have you on this platform. Thank you so much, sir. I request all the participants to, turn on their cameras for a quick snapshot, please. Just a minute. Yeah, you all ready? Okay. Just look into the camera, please. Yeah, done. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Stay safe. Take care. Thank you.